Nigel Mansell, thank you for taking the time to speak in the European today.
Okay.
We're here to talk about UK Youth. It's obviously a charity that you've been supporting since, I believe, 1999, and for which you've raised well over £1 million to date.
It's been tens of millions.
Tens of millions.
In fact, we've been part of the charity Save the Children for over 40 years. You mentioned 1999 because I've been the president for the last 25 years, which I took over for the Duke of Westminster. I'm very proud because every president before has been part of the royal family, and I'm the first commoner to be sold. Yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, I've been around the charity a lot, and over all those years, we've raised a lot of millions of pounds. So we just recently we got this at Avonshire at headquarters. We're trying to raise a 5-6 million for indoor sports centre. And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I believe there's some really good news tonight that there's a good few £1 million going towards that already. So, and we started off by making a modest donation, and that got everyone excited. And so, we're very excited. That's going the right way too now.
Tonight's event here at Four Seasons Hotel in London is focused on raising funds for the charity's Ventures Away from Home project. For the unfamiliar, what exactly is this project and how does it benefit young people?
I mean, basically, UK Youth Choir was conceived in 1911. So I'm 11 years old. So I've got that's right, I've got very rubbish, right? So 111 years old, and it's basically children up, so the place of church age and children from 4 or 5 years of age, the doors are open. And all sorts of calamities that children can have. The most important ones is out of education or out of employment. And what people forget is that children are once they get into trouble, and if you don't actually educate them, they make sometimes poor life choices. Let's give you a couple of poor life choices. Jumping out of a barn onto concrete 20 foot high and not knowing the concrete's going to break your legs. Obviously, the children hospital, they've done exactly that. Making some bad decisions and going basically getting into crime of all sorts. So you educate them and empower them to make their life choices, and it's just absolutely fantastic that UK Youth has programs for all sorts of things. And Avonshire, the headquarters, we have hundreds of thousands of children have gone through there. And our reach of young children in this country goes into millions. And we have programs for everything. You name a program, we probably have it.
Yeah.
And some of our best people who speak on behalf of the UK Youth, the youth themselves. We're like, there was a brother in was 16, got 3 separate children by 3 separate partners. And they came off the street, turning life around, and one of the most fantastic people to speak. Yeah, I like it. UK Youth and charity out. And there isn't anything that we can't, and if we can't do it ourselves, our charity. And so, but anything that is really quite frustrating for me, being president for 25 years and surviving 5 CEOs and chairmen and various other things, that when we started, we got a lot of funding from the government. We derived 90% funding from government. We basically get less than 10% out, and we have to go to a private sector. And that's why the event like tonight is so important to have partners and sponsors and everyone else who realizes that our youth of today is our future of tomorrow. And people forget that sometimes. We just forget, how brilliant it is to try and educate somebody or employ somebody instead of them being incarcerated. It costs about £50,000 a year now to incarcerate someone for a year. To educate someone, it's £14,000. And so you do the suburbs, it's quite well.
You mentioned about donations. We've seen that charity donations have fallen dramatically since the pandemic. Of course, more recently, absolute crisis. How important to this project are donations from both the public and the corporate? So I think it's majorly important because the headquarters are Avonshire. They work and operate till the winter time as well at times. When the weather's bad and you don't have an in-school sports centre, this is Wingle Sports Centre they have built. It's mega important. Then we
the training and the fun and all the schemes that they have can be done in the sports centre, and obviously the weather is it in Poland. So yes, we have to work very hard, and you've made an incredible point, which people forget. I'll never forget in our seating the year, My Majesty graciously gave us things of castle for 3 days to promote the charity, to raise funds, and we had the most fantastic year. And it's brilliant. But when we come to the 31st of December of every year, whatever we make that year, it goes back to zero, and we start all over again. And so it is extremely hard. Of course, people say, well, what happens if you don't raise as much money as you did the year before? Then our reach to the young people don't get to the same target, where we actually have to obviously run it like a business, like everything else. And so it is very, very important. But the long-standing charity, 111 years, the history of it, the vibrance of it, the CEO we have with their Diddy and all the, they likely have between 40 and 50,000 volunteers. I mean, it's just incredible charity.
Over here on your left is a rather special e-bike, which I understand has been created especially for you and for tonight's event.
Wonderful.
Perhaps you can tell me a little bit about what this bike actually is and exactly how it will help UK youth this evening.
Well, hopefully every bike that's sold, we've been so generous, and I'll probably get shot for telling this, but the owner and everything told me that 99% of the profits can be donated to UK youth. They're very happy. Unfortunately, that's a joke, but no. Seriously, there'll be a donation every time. Hopefully, the bike is sold. They're obviously using my name and fame, and I'm obviously going to promote the bike for them. And certainly in the boating world, I work for certain companies in America with yachts, the folding bike on the yacht.
Yeah.
Very good. You put it in a cupboard or whatever. So it's another little way of creating a little bit of finance and awareness for UK youth as well. And they've been so generous because they've bought a couple of bikes to actually auction off tonight. So we're going to auction our bikes tonight as well. And it's a lot of fun.
Obviously, being an e-bike, sustainability, environmental awareness, both very important at the moment. How do you see the electric vehicle industry perhaps evolve? And how do you see it?
I think it's a tough one, really tough. Good question, but it's very tough to answer because a lot of the companies are pulling back, that, don't you? And they're evolving slower now than they were going to, because there's been some challenges, obviously, with the electric car. I think, for me personally, I think it's a fantastic evolution, but for me, I'm 100% for hybrid. So you got engine and electric.
And is this one F1 as well? How do you see
Yeah, well,
say 50 years?
No, they're doing that, aren't they? They're doing that in 2027 and 26. Where 50% comes from electric and 50% from the engine, or thereabouts. But for me, hybrid is the way. A lot of companies are adjusting their stance and really focusing on more hybrid than full electric. The reason for that is because there's not enough power stations in the world if everyone wants to go electric overnight. And then more importantly is that if something goes wrong with an electric car and I'll pass them up the motorway, what do you think happens? The plant's on the side of the road. Whereas the hybrid, if something goes wrong with the electric car, you can still get home and you don't have this panic or whatever, and you have choices and options.
For the future of transport.
Well, that's my opinion. I think hybrid, I think eventually when you have a good number of years of development to go full electric, that might be possible. But then, someone's got to figure out the power station, you've got to figure out the recharging. In Los Angeles, if you remember, there's a picture of 200-300 cars waiting to be charged. And the charging station, well, you can't spend a day just waiting for your car to be charged. People are not very happy about that.
You won 31 Grand Prix, Williams and Ferraris, making you, I believe, the second most successful British driver of all time. You've been awarded the CBE for services to children in Kusasha, millions raised. Looking back on those achievements in racing and philanthropy, what would be your proudest achievement, perhaps, that people don't know?
Being president for UK Youth for 25 years, you're not getting beheaded. Working for the real family and working for the charity is the proudest thing I've ever done. Making children smile, giving them opportunity, thinking and showing them that dreams can come true, giving them the tools of the trade to live a better life, and as I said earlier, and it's really repeating, to make better life choices, that you don't have to make so many mistakes. And I think for me, that's the proudest moment in my life, really. And still being the president, and still being here to, soldier on. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, it goes without saying, I mean, qualifying as an engineer, as a young man, and then getting into racing and having some reasonable success. Yes, I'm very proud of that too, but no, the children come first.
And finally, for all the people that couldn't make tonight's event, how can they still support the UK Youth?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thank you for even listening and thinking about UK Youth. And, we have to make life choices ourselves, don't we? That we can't help everybody. I wouldn't say we're one of the most sexiest charities, but fundamentally we're one of the most progressive charities to help society and to, put faith in our young children that they could be, I want to use the expression of the next Prime Minister, because we could really do with some really good leadership in different ways, but they're the captains of industry, they're the future of their life, the country, and if one can think of sharing a little bit of funding for UK Youth, perhaps not every year, but occasionally, helping in some way, not necessarily all the time with money, but with support and help. That always helps.
And volunteering.
And leadership. Anything we would do would be incredibly great. And of course, if a few checks come our way, then obviously that's what we hope to.
Well, we hope tonight goes well. Nigel Mansell, thank you for your time.
That's a pleasure. Thank you for this.